Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. Welcome to another podcast. Here we are again.
Here I go again on my own.
She's in a singing mood today.
I'm really tired. I
I
look
was
like
about
I've
to
been
say that.
punched.
I said last week that I was really tired, and now it's your turn to be really tired this week. So let's hope we can at least bring a decent podcast. Well, if it's not decent, then we won't put it out. We'll just have to re-record it.
Don't make me do that.
Anyway,
Remember when we didn't record one?
No. Do you remember when we recorded one in the echoey?
That one wasn't too bad. But there was one we just didn't record. It was when we were doing it just off the camera mics. So.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that's when we still did it.
I
in my
forgot
house.
to press record on one. We've had the camera cut out. We've had the mics cut out. We've had it all. We've had
doggos.
We're not professionals,
Excuse
guys.
me, but I don't need to be licked.
He says, I'm just giving you a little clean. Right.
Go.
Roll the intro.
Hello and welcome to Confetti Conversations,
the podcast where me and my sister talk all things weddings, wedding planning and married life.
Right. Jesus. Here we are talking about photographers today.
Yes.
A bit of a different one. We're not photographers. We're not, it'd be cool actually if one day we could get a photographer on to talk about photographers and just about from their perspective, what makes a good sort of
Cooper, what are you biting? Don't bite the sofa.
What makes good photos, what the photos is they choose, what they like to do, what sort of things they want to do, what they want to bring to the table as a photographer.
Yeah.
That would be really cool to have somebody. So if there are any photographers who are out there who are wanting to come and join us and talk on the podcast, we would love to hear it from you. But this is just, I guess, us talking from the perspective of, I think this whole podcast is this really, but it's just us talking from the perspective of people who are getting married and how to choose a photographer as a person who is getting married.
Yep.
Not we're obviously not professionals. We don't know the wedding industry in that sort of way as a professional. We only know it for what we've bought and what we've done.
Yeah.
So yeah, from our perspective, this is sort of how we've chosen wedding photographers.
Mm-hmm.
We both found our photographer at a wedding, so we didn't really have to do any research, did we?
No,
when it came to picking a photographer, because we already knew that we wanted her. I don't think I even looked.
I didn't.
I genuinely don't think I even looked.
I didn't even check if I could afford her.
No, I don't think I think I based my budget around being able to afford her.
Yeah.
I think I decided that that's what I was having, and that whatever the circumstances were, I was having her. So that there would be cuts in other areas to enable me to have her. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So doggy's going in and out. So I guess what we were really looking at then was the vibe of the photographer sold us, because we didn't even see the photos before we truly made our minds up.
Yeah.
Because the vibe of how she was and what she was like at the wedding, we just loved, didn't we? And
oh yeah, she's amazing.
She just brings the energy, and I think that's really important for a photographer, because you spend a lot of time with them, and you spend a lot of time they sort of tell you a lot of what to do throughout the day, because they're like, guys, should we do this now? Or at least my photographer was.
Yeah.
She was very much like, shall we go here now? Should we do this now?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you do have to sort of like the vibe of them. So I think it's really important to meet your photographer.
Absolutely.
I think having a Zoom call or a phone call, just gauging the vibe, because they may not vibe with you, you may not vibe with them. I think that's sort of the most important thing, is that you both can get on with each other, because you are spending 12 hours intensely
of the most important day of your life.
Yeah. And it's just as much as they've got to have a nice time as you've got to have a nice time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely her vibe was what sort of drew us to her initially. Yep. And then we saw the photos, and we were like, yeah, we just love the way that she edits, the type of photos she does. It's very candid. There's not a lot of posing, really.
No.
She will pose you,
But it looks candid.
Yeah, but then a lot like, or basically, well, actually a lot of them are posed, but we're doing stuff, and I'm just looking at my wedding photos on the wall, but we're, you know, she doesn't make you feel like you have to stand there and pose for the camera. She's very much like, right, guys, can you walk away now? Can you come back now? Sam, look at me. Phil, look at me. Like, you know, she very much made it easy, step by step. Like, there was no real like stress with it or like worry about being in front of the camera.
No.
And I think like me and Sam are both comfortable in front of the camera. Like, that's not something, in the same like you and Ellis, like you wouldn't, neither of you are going to be shy when it comes to being in front of the camera.
Well, Ellis will just take over.
Yeah, he will. All your photos will just be Ellis with featuring you.
Ellis is in more of Phil's wedding photos than I am.
He just loves it. Loves to get involved.
One of the best photos, and there's just Ellis in the background, but he's an actual vibe in it, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, to be fair. I do love the people in the background. But yeah, she really made you feel comfortable. Although, like I said, me and Sam are really happy being in front of the camera. She really did make us feel comfortable, and it wasn't like, I know, it wasn't like pressure on us to perform.
No.
And, you know, look good or whatever. It was just like, have fun, and the photos come out like you're having, like we are. You can just see in the photos that we're having a nice time, and that's because she does bring the energy. So I think energy and like their vibe is massive with your photographer, because you do spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
I also think your photographer is like not top dog, but you take a lot of the sort of timings and the things from your photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And like with what's it called, and when you've got a videographer and stuff like that, I think your photographer does sort of take the lead.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. I've only ever really seen a videographer at your wedding.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it was a lot more of the photographer sort of taking the lead, and then the videographer sort of being like, oh, you know, capturing the moments, and then being like, oh guys, can you just redo this for us, like for me, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that's sort of how we found our photographer. Like I said, it's different for us because we didn't really do much research. But then when you obviously changed your wedding date, and you then now have got a different photographer, talk us through a little bit about sort of what you were looking for and all that when you were searching for another one.
So Phil's mentioned this before about how photographers have certain presets.
Yeah.
And we wanted one that looked similar.
Yeah.
To what our original photographer did. Obviously, everyone's different, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But those similar kind of tones. And we wanted, ideally, someone who'd been to the venue before, because there's loads of cool little places around the venue for
that
photos.
helps, doesn't it? Yeah.
And obviously, each photographer will do their research and go and have a look, but it's just easier.
But I think if you've seen like specific photos that you want, at your venue, then they'll already know them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it definitely makes it easier.
Yeah. So that was part of it, but in all honesty, coming up to choosing a new photographer because I just couldn't function. Like, not that I was poorly with pregnancy or anything. I just couldn't figure out how we were going to make it work, how we were going to afford it, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So actually, it was Phil that found the photographer through looking at tagged photos, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just went on your venue's Instagram, and I just looked at tagged photos from there, and just then looked at I think I sent you 3 or 4.
Yeah, in fairness, she was the first one I looked at and contacted.
That was the first one I sent you, I think, because
so.
I looked at photos, and some of them I'd click on them and they'd be our photographer, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, because the photographer we originally had did loads of weddings at my venue.
She's been there a lot.
She was actually there like recently, I think, looking at her recent photos. So yeah, that was kind of it. And then we booked a phone call with her.
Yeah.
Whereas our original photographer, I didn't even bother because
she knew us. Have a phone call.
Yeah, and like we just knew what we were getting ourselves in for.
Yeah. Which
was just fun, and we were looking forward to it. And she nicknamed Ellis Elvis, so I actually put that in our original inquiry.
Well, it came from Sam's stag do.
Yeah.
Elvis. One of Sam's friends called him Elvis, and then she loved it, and she just kept calling him Elvis
through the whole day. And Elle was the one that was like helping her get bits and bobs and organise people, and because he knew like pretty well both sides, didn't he? And he could talk to a brick wall. So yeah, she like, and I just loved how well they got on. But when we spoke to our new photographer, we just literally said all we want is fun. Like, I'm gonna be quite pregnant. I'm gonna be tired, I assume, at points in the day, but there'll be the times that we can just go off with the photographer,
do some quiet stuff,
do some quiet photos, have a chill, even if it's just we sit down for a bit. Like, that's fine. But I still want I don't want it all to be like posed boring portraits. Like, they're just not for me.
No, you want fun.
I want all the fun.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you just want to have a nice time and just have fun, and you want that like that vibe, like with mine, where you just look at them and it's like, yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, exactly. And I think everyone will be very aware, and I don't want, I know I'll start getting pissy with, like, it'll be family that will ask, won't it? Are you sure you don't want to sit down for a bit? You need to have a rest. And I will get annoyed at that. Like, I'm very honest and very like upfront of, I just want to go and have a sit down. But if the photographer says, should we go and do some photos? I would kiss her.
Yeah.
Because I'd be so happy.
There will be times where you as a person will want to get away.
Yeah.
I know what you're like. You find you're very good with lots of people. That's like your thing. Like, you don't struggle in big scenarios. But when I'm done, and I'm going to say you will be done at multiple points throughout the day. All you need though is, and sometimes you need to recognize it before you get to like, I'm really done now.
Yeah.
So you just go, okay, I'm going to go and sit somewhere else for 5 minutes. Like, it'll only take you 5 minutes to re-regulate and get yourself back to, but like, I think especially, you know, obviously being pregnant, you'll be tired, like, and people will be drunk around you and they will probably annoy you.
Yeah.
Like, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you just, like, for you to enjoy your day, taking 5 minutes every now and again, and you could just go and take your mocktail, 5 minutes, just go, I'm a happy girl right now.
I am having a nice time. If this Aperol fake mocktail thing
I
is
didn't
nice.
make it to Asda. We've seen at Asda, they do a fake, an Aperol mocktail.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
Yeah. And if this tastes good, that's all I want.
And I think that will make you so happy.
It will make me so happy because Aperol is my favourite thing.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, this is completely off the topic of photographers. Will they make me pay corkage on something that's a soft drink?
I've no idea. I've never thought about it.
Maybe they'll feel sorry for me because I'm pregnant.
You just need to ask a question.
Because it's also going to be for me. Like, it's literally just for me.
You're the only one that's going to drink it.
Yeah.
You'll just have a Hayley drink. Like, you'll just be like, somebody will be like, the bride wants it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they might do. But it's worth
I suppose
it.
if it's per head, it's just for, like, do you know what I mean? It's not corkage for everyone. It's just, maybe they'll just make me pay corkage.
It's literally just you drinking it. So
yeah.
you've got to ask the
or
question,
I ask them, I was like, you've got to get this in, or I'll go and buy it for you. And, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'll email Naomi.
Yeah. Well, see if you like it first.
Oh, yeah. As soon as because I've asked them to get the cider I like.
Yeah.
But as soon as I know about that, maybe I'll go to Asda this evening. Let's talk about photographers.
Quick! We want to go to Asda. Anyway,
okay, yeah. So vibe, rest. She was really nice.
You definitely are going to need time to rest, and I think, like you said, having your photographer just be like, should we just go and do some couple shots?
Yeah.
And I think I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Like, and it's good that you've sort of spoken to her about that
with just the girls, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like my girls aren't
bridal ones.
No offense, other than you and Charlotte, that no one else is really boozy.
Yeah, no. Well, Kayla can have a good time.
Kayla likes a good time, but she doesn't take it very much.
No, Kayla doesn't need to drink a lot. China and Charlotte have both just had babies, so they're not really gonna.
No, so at least I'll have like them.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of people who.
But then, sorry, that's what the point I was making is that to go and do like the fun, like the girls' photos, will be a bit calmer.
Yes, it will. Yeah.
The boys go wild.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah. I think it's like either way, you'll have a lovely time, and having that photographer. Like you're like your right hand woman.
Yeah. So I've messaged her a few times and she's got back to me and been really lovely. And like I like to get involved with my suppliers, which sounds a bit weird, but every time they post something on Instagram, like I like it or I comment on it or like things like that, or I love how you've done this, so I can try and remember. I screenshot stuff that they've done.
Yeah.
So I can be like, oh, you did this, so can we try this?
Yeah, I think that's all. Like, I think going in, I only had one photo that I desperately wanted to do, which was at the end of the aisle, and I'd seen it. It was on Megan Grubb when she got married.
Yeah.
It was, she did it at the end of her aisle, and I just loved it. So I got my hand out with my ring, and then my flowers in the air, and Sam's kissing me on the cheek, and I just absolutely loved it.
I love that photo.
Like I loved the vibe of it, and that to me was like, yeah, definitely want to do that photo.
I love the dips at the end of the aisle and stuff like that. But
I'm not a dipper.
also, I'm going to be 7 months pregnant.
Yeah, you don't want to be dipped.
And the aisle, whack my head. No, Ellis will drop me.
Yeah.
No one should drop a pregnant lady.
Not definitely not a pregnant bride.
No, I know.
It's like Married at First Sight.
He dropped me and he didn't say sorry.
So,
I ruined maths for one of the girls today.
oh no.
She's really behind. I finished it, but she's really behind.
Don't listen to this if you're watching math. Might cut us out.
I gave her a spoiler. I won't say it. And she literally stomped out of my room like, I can't believe you've done that.
But yeah, nobody should be dropping a pregnant bride.
Don't drop a pregnant. So I need to look for
look at options for the end of the aisle.
But I'm just going to look at her photos.
Yeah.
Because she knows what will work and what won't. So that's my plan.
Yeah.
And then
looking at looking at your photographer's Instagrams is such a valuable tool, isn't it?
Well, I'm committing to posting more, but I will post both of them. So
yeah,
I'll post mine after my wedding, so it's our weddings photos, but we'll post yours.
Yeah.
And I found out today she's my regional manager's friend, your photographer.
Is she?
No, she's not ours, but yeah. Yeah, anyway. Moving on.
She's great.
She's so good.
She's just done an iron. What's she done?
It's like ultra marathon
or something. She's insane.
Yeah, she's an absolute legend.
We'll tag her on our socials, but it's Pixie Jane Photography.
She's incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Love her, and the nicest lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with with Pixie, Angela, I didn't even ask prices. I just said, what is it? And I'll pay the deposit. Fine. And then with my new photographer, it was like, crap. Honey.
She had packages, didn't she?
So yeah, my new one, Amy.
Yeah,
Amy had packages. So she sent me the 3 packages. I chose what I thought would work. Packages.
Oh yeah, the packages.
So she had 3 packages. I chose the one that I thought was going to suit us best.
Yeah.
And on our phone call, she talked us through it and said, that realistically sounds fine. However, the time you're getting married and by the time you've had your first dance and you're going to want some dance floor pictures.
Yeah.
You don't need loads, do you? But
oh no, we only had a couple.
Yeah, most people are on the dance floor after the first dance anyway.
Yeah, that's when you get them really.
Yeah, and it looks like the whole night.
Yeah.
Make sure people in the accessories. I'm not going to tell everyone what they are. But there's accessories, so
get them
quickly. Bridesmaids, groomsmen are going to want them. They're all going to be absolutely steamed. The kids will get them out, so everyone will get involved. So she was like, you're probably going to need to do something different. And she said, I'll make you a package, basically.
Oh,
so I don't know if that's something she does regularly or because she knew the situation. I don't know. So yeah, it was really good. So we've got what we wanted, just with someone new.
Perfect.
She's really nice.
Good. That's really good. And getting on with them is so important. Like I've said before, like you need to be able to get on with your photographer. Right. Let's do a little bit of, this is from Hitched, everybody. Okay. And this is 9 simple steps to help you choose your photographer. I nearly couldn't say it then. I nearly said
photographer.
So, number 1, know your budget. So important.
Yeah.
We obviously are a little bit different, but I think I definitely had a budget in mind. I didn't want to spend over, I think, 1,500. I did a little bit, but that was like my ideal budget was around 1,500.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had my budget because I knew what you'd spent, and I have now spent my second photographer was a bit more.
Yeah.
Plus, I've lost a deposit.
Yeah.
So
I think the problem is,
I don't blame. I don't
No.
like the contract's a contract. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's a bad thing. That's what it is.
yeah,
But financially, that makes it harder.
it is quite a lot
However,
more.
I do think your wedding photos are so important
I think you have to invest
that
in
I
wedding
wasn't.
photos.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna have someone that I didn't want, and
Yeah.
if that means me not having something else at the wedding,
Yeah.
which I was hoping to have, like, I'll say it anyway because it just physically cannot happen now. I really wanted to, if we could afford it, have like entertainment or a magician during the drinks reception.
Yeah.
That just physically cannot happen.
No.
Like live music or something, and there's no way we can make up that gap anymore.
No.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. I'm not angry or sad about it. We hadn't booked anything for that, so it's not like we've had to cancel on anyone.
No.
It's just that would have been, if there's any spare money,
Yeah.
that's where it will go.
Well, yeah. It is. Yeah. Like you said, the photographer is the photos. I look at my photos weekly.
Every day up there.
Well, every day they're in my house, and I will scroll through my photos weekly. So
Yeah, and you've got them for years. Like, we look at mom and dad's photos, we look at mom and dad's wedding video.
yeah,
Like, you look at our grandparents' wedding photos.
yeah.
I just
Invest.
think,
yeah, invest in a photographer. That's my
again, it doesn't have to be loads of money, but have who you want.
yeah.
Like, if you can afford it.
Well, this is the next one. Decide your vision.
Yeah.
So this is really like the
What we
type
talked
of
about,
photo
yeah.
that you want, and whether you want it to be really posed, really candid, the prefixes
Portraits,
that
yeah.
you like. There's this new trend. Is it like where people do the blurry ones?
Yeah.
That's like really big at the minute. Like, do you like that? Do you like it where it's really crisp and clean? Do you
Yeah.
like the photos that are really bright, or something a little bit more sort of muted? Like, you need to know, I think, research, especially on your venue's Instagram, researching the different photos and seeing what you like
Oh,
the
yeah,
look
because I
of.
do feel different venues suit different style of photography. Like,
Yeah, I
our
agree.
photographer is at our venue.
Yeah.
The person we originally booked, and actually my new photographer is at our venue quite regularly
Yeah,
because their photography style suits the style of venue.
yeah,
If it was a really modern, sleek, it would still look great, but that isn't their style.
yeah. It's different. Yeah. I think you do have to match your photographer to
Yeah.
the style of your venue. I think it does make a massive difference.
Yeah.
This is here again. Consider their style. So
We do actually know what we're talking about, I think.
yeah, we're actually getting better at this. You know,
Yeah.
we're getting way better at this. We're like, when we start talking about things, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. And then when, like, my friends who aren't married yet talk to me and they're like, but I never thought about that,
Yeah.
or I never realised that. And I'm like, you don't realise how much you pick up purely by just planning a wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we've done it essentially twice
Mhm.
because we've done it with each other, and like, we do a lot of it together.
Yeah.
So we have done 2 weddings
Well, more you.
essentially. No, because you did a lot with me, like a lot of helping and being around and even just
Yeah.
talking about things.
Yeah.
So we have done it twice, but like, you do just
To
sort
be
of
fair,
pick
the
it
last 4
up.
years, weddings have been our personality. We had like a 8-month break from after your wedding, but then we still talked about your wedding for a while until I got engaged.
Yeah, and then I was talking about your wedding before you knew about it, because
I don't know about it.
yeah, you were getting engaged. But like, it is a lot. Like, you do sort of, especially when you're at this age as well, we're going to a lot of weddings. We're around a lot of people who are getting married or
I'm
thinking
so
about
looking
getting married.
forward to wedding season next year.
I know, I'm hoping mine will fill up. Mine's not quite as full as yours. Come on, guys,
Love
get
it.
engaged.
Love it.
But yeah, considering their style and your vision, they need to go together. What you want your photos to look like and what their photos generally look like, they need to marry up. You
Yeah.
can't change you can't ask a photographer to change their
Oh yeah, if I started
style.
asking mine to go like really cool toned and really like portraity,
yeah.
it just would look weird.
Yeah, you can't. But you can't. It's like asking a cake baker to change the way they bake
Well,
cakes.
We'll talk about videographers separately, but this was what my videographer said. She can't film on the day,
Yeah,
but how she edits it will look like she was there.
yeah,
So it will still be her style of videography. And I'm sure, like, if photographers have a second shooter, they just have the memory stick of all the photos
they do, and then
edit
they
them
edit
themselves,
them. Yeah, they do.
which is why you can't change what they do.
No.
And if you don't think you're going to get on with them, just don't have them.
Have someone else.
You've got to get on with them.
Yeah, you have to like the way that they do things, because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work if you don't like how they do things.
No.
Cool. Oh, there's different types of photography here. Okay, right, here we go. This is interesting.
Interessante.
Reportage photography is also known as reportage is also known as photojournalistic or documentary photography.
Mm.
Your photographer will stand among and around you and your guest, capturing candid and spontaneous shots. Reportage style is all about reactions and emotions, so you can expect your photos to tell the real story of your day. It has a very authentic feel, as it doesn't involve any posing.
Cool.
Traditional photography. Traditional or formal wedding photography is the classic pose look you'll see in conventional photo shots of the couple. No, hang on. You'll see in conventional group shots of the couple and the wedding party. This used to be the most popular style and involves plenty of direction from the photographer, but it's also more time consuming than reportage. However, your finished photographs will be beautifully shot and well lit.
Mm-hmm.
And then contemporary photography. Contemporary photography involves more dramatic and unique shots and will feel more like fashion or editorial photography combined with reportage. This style is ideal if you want a fashion-led couple's photos and an artistic approach to your shots. You'll need to find a photographer with the same creative vision as you, whether that's street style, portraits, conceptual, or natural or nature focused. I feel like most photographers
do a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
We definitely had a bit of everything, and I think yours is the same, isn't she?
Yeah, I would say so.
Next, for the steps to find your photographer is get recommendations and read reviews. That's with any supplier, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think we had seen our photographer, and like with yours, she's clearly been to your venue multiple times and has produced beautiful photos. So, she clearly...
She gets it.
She gets it, yeah. See a portfolio, which is right, but I think a lot of people now use Instagram as their portfolio. So I think you can look at a lot of people's,
and then you can ask for more.
You can, yeah, and their websites as well. A lot of them have a very extensive gallery on their website of all different weddings they've done, showcasing the different sort of ways that they do weddings. Arrange a meeting, always important. If you haven't met them before, you need to, like we said, know if you vibe.
We planned on doing Zoom with Amy, but I think she was away, so she was like, do you mind if we do a phone call? I was like, no, I think that's absolutely fine.
Do they know your venue? Again, super important. It's nice to know that they know your venue and they know what you're what they're working with. If they don't know it, like I think my photographer had only been to our venue maybe once or twice, but we were limited anyway because it was raining, so it actually was fine. But she would have figured it all out, and
she did.
Yeah. And then narrow down your short list. This is like any that you have as options. Sort of look at the different packages, which works for you, which ones you sort of think will be your best options, and then sort of go from there as to what you like from your short list. And then book an engagement shoot. And this isn't essential. It says this is not essential. But for an engagement shoot, if you're not sure about, not sure, but if you're not confident with posing or with being in front of the camera, I think doing an engagement shoot is so important.
Yeah.
Like, I think even if you just want the photos, like, part of me was going to do an engagement shoot. We just never got around to it. But doing an engagement shoot, if you're not that comfortable in front of a camera, I think it's
a great idea.
important.
Yeah.
Because it just gets you to get to know your photographer and how they work. And then you can get, some really good shots that you've then gone, oh yeah, that works for me. I like to pose like this. I think this looks better.
They'll
when I do
learn a lot
this.
about you as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you're not confident or you just want some nice photos, just go and have an engagement shoot. So I think that was the list. That was the list. It was just 9 things.
I think we knew most of it.
I think we knew most of it as well. That's from Hitched. So Hitched also has photographer recommendations, so you can go on there and have a look at the different photographers that they have.
I think our original one was on Bridebook, maybe.
Yeah,
I think. Oh, I can't remember now.
Yeah, but they do a lot of them sort of advertise on those sorts of sites as well. And travel is another thing to consider. Try to look for photographers in your area, because they will charge you mileage and
Maybe a
hotels and stuff to stay over. And if you really want them, you just have to factor that into your budget.
Yep.
But yeah, there's plenty of amazing photographers out there
Mm-hmm.
who all do different styles, but bring incredible photos. We'll give you an amazing wedding album.
Yep.
So you will definitely find the right one. But do your research, speak to some, but if you do speak to them, make sure you tell them if they're not the one, because
You're not my person.
well, it's just hard, isn't it? Because it's hard if you go for a job interview and they never get back to you.
Yeah.
So being open and honest and
Oh,
saying
yeah,
thank you so much for your help, but
I don't think. Yeah,
we're not gonna
we found another option or something.
yeah.
Yeah, that because I don't think they wouldn't have had a deposit, but some might hold a date for you.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Just be courteous.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's the end of photographers then. We will talk about videographers at some point. And like we said at the beginning, if there are any photographers out there who want to come and chat to us and talk to us about photography and all that kind of stuff, we would love to hear it from a professional's point of view.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just give us a message on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, review, follow, all of the above. We want to share this podcast far and wide because we just want to help brides that are planning their wedding.
And groomed.
And grooms, sorry. Brides and grooms that are planning their wedding, because, yeah, we think we've
It's
got
fun.
some useful knowledge for people.
Yep.
Anyway, for now, I'm Philippa.
I'm Hayley.
This was Confetti Conversations, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.